Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to show you the 9-step system that has booked 4,500 appointments and closed over 400, probably closer to 500 high-ticket clients. Again, this has taken 10 plus years of my own experience, my own money, working with over 400 clients to actually achieve this. Now, what's really, really important is to understand that most people think what we do for our clients and ourselves is run an ad to a funnel, to a calendar and book demo calls. And then you close deals or whatever. Yes, maybe 10 years ago, that would have worked, okay? Or maybe even 5 years ago, because that's what I was doing 5 years ago. If you look back at this lovely photo of me on my e-com agency doing exactly the same thing I'm doing right now, which is, running ads to get clients. This is the type of system that you need. There's 9 steps to this system. Okay, so I'm going to break each of these steps down so you understand it fundamentally, what is required to actually turn a complete stranger into a high-ticket client. Okay, because it's probably a lot more than you think it is. And that's why what we do is provide a done-for-you solution for this exact system. Okay, and that's obviously just one part of what we do, but it's a very integral part. So I want you watching this video to understand exactly what is required, exactly what is needed to actually scale, spend 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 a month on ads and scale your high ticket offer. Okay, so the number one thing is running an ad. Okay, so think video images, think videos, images, any sort of ad. Okay, it doesn't matter because the only goal of an ad is very, very simple. Is to generate qualified traffic from your ideal avatar, the right industry, the right demographic, the right location, they actually have money to invest, right? Your ad should speak to them directly and focus on their pain, the desired outcome, your solution, and undeniable proof that it actually works, okay? The best performing ads have bold and bright colors, short and concise copy that pushes the viewers to click while also pushing away any unqualified leads. The winning images and videos are offer centric, okay? As people only care about themselves. They only care about what happens to them, and that's it. That's the whole point, right? After launching thousands of campaigns in a decade, marketing 101 is always the same. Call out your audience, offer them something, and give them a good reason to take action, okay? Now, the quality of your content is so important, right? If you're recording on an iPhone 7, the quality of that ad is going to drastically affect the perception people are going to have on your offer and your service and your business, okay? And finally, the ad should be built from market research, existing data, and customer research. This will minimize the risk of failure. Okay, you can see here 2 of my winning ads that I've ran in the last couple of years. They scream professionalism, they scream clear, concise. It's very obvious who I'm calling out. It's very obvious what I'm offering them. Okay, it's super, super important. Now, a good click-through rate, so this is link click-through rate, is anything above 1%. Which typically in most industries results in a $3 to $8 cost per link click. And again, this does depend on the size of the audience you're going after. In regards to ad copy, you want to be calling out the audience with a hook. You want to give proof for why they should care. You want to break limiting beliefs. You want to add as much more proof and experience as possible. Okay, all the way down. You want to call out the audience again and offer them something of value. And then have a clear call to action. Again, I have 119 ad accounts that we're currently working with today. Okay. This isn't just me that ran an ad for a month and said I'm good at ads. This is like my life and has been for the last 10 years. Okay, so number 1 of 9 is the ad. Okay, once you have your ad, you now need a funnel. The winning mechanism for book a call funnels, so to generate appointments, is VSLs, video sales letters. Okay, again, here's 2 winning VSLs that I've ran recently. Okay, both of them scream a clear defined offer. Okay, a clear outcome of 10, 20 new clients, a clear outcome of installing a system that's produced a result. Okay, it's very offer centric for a reason, because that's what it's all about. Okay, that's what gets the attention. If your headline offer is poor, you won't scale. Like, I've had a client that we just changed the headline offer on his VSL, and he went from spending $150 per appointment to spending $50 and scaling from $30 a day in ad spend to $50,000 a month in ad spend in 90 days and make 200K plus every single month. Okay, the content on the funnel is the video sales letter. Okay, it's an explanation of who you are, what you do, nurturing, educating the people that are actually on the funnel, which, if your ad is doing the right thing, is qualified prospects. So to put out simply, a good VSL calls out your audience, gives them an offer, shows proof, explains how, what, why, and when, derives it back to the pain point of that audience, adds scarcity and urgency tied into a call to action, right? Like, hey, this offer is only limited for this time, or hey, we can only work with 5 people a month, or whatever it is. Right? If you do it right and it is actually of substance or value, it will work. Again, high quality, customized scripts that actually talk to your audience's desires and what they actually want to achieve based on what you sell. Okay, and based on the problems that you solve. Okay, so for example, in 1 month, My landing page converted 8% of all the traffic that landed on that website. Okay, that is 8% that completed a survey on that VSL, which I'm going to show you in a second. So when we spent $4 a link click, we are only paying $50 per qualified survey on average. What this does, it creates positive friction in the sales process. So only interested leads will actually going to go and complete a survey, right? You're not going to complete a survey if you're not interested in what it is about. You just wouldn't waste your time. So this is what the survey looks like, okay? And this is all about qualifying the traffic. So you ask them a question of essentially, who are you? Are you the person that we can help? Where are you currently now? Are you financially qualified to actually do this? What is your contact information so we can send you in more information, reminders, whatever? Okay, it's very important because your survey is a form of friction. It is built to also push away window shoppers and tire kickers, okay? If you just have a funnel that goes straight to a calendar, you're going to get tire kickers and window shoppers because there's no friction, okay? Your questions should be designed to your industry, and the more questions, the higher the interest. But do not ask them silly questions. For example, are you going to show up to your meeting, right? It's just irrelevant. Like, they booked a call, of course they're going to show up, right? Even questioning that, it just gives off the wrong impression. So again, this is the survey that 8% of all of our traffic filled out, okay? In 1 month, by the way. So those same 8% of traffic went to this page, okay? On this page, which is the calendar page, you want to tell them what to do, but also tell the wrong people what to do, okay? So if you're not this person, do not do the thing, okay? So it should be pretty obvious. So of those 8%, 75, 74% ended up booking a call. Okay, so we got 231 qualified appointments in 1 month. For best results, you want leads booking in the same day, next day, but no more than 4 days out. Obviously, we're aiming for high show-up rates with qualified prospects. If your calendar is open for 2 weeks and they're booking out 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 beyond days in advance, those people are going to forget who you are, forget why they booked a call and won't show up. So it's a waste of money, waste of time. Okay. What we're also doing for anyone that doesn't book straight away, we use AI and automations to contact them immediately after not booking, so maybe 2 to 3 minutes after, to remind them of, hey, you forgot to book. Hey, here's more about us. Hey, here's more proof. Hey, here, watch this. Re-engage them to actually then book a call. Now, this first few steps, the ad, the funnel, the survey, the calendar, is what allows us to have calendars like this, right? It allows us to spend 10 to 20K on ads and book 50 plus calls a week on autopilot. But again, this is less than half of the whole equation. Most people stop here. Most people just get loads of calls and expect them to show up and buy. This is the biggest mistake I see people make time and time again. So the most important part and the secret sauce is what happens after people book a call. So you want to have a post-booking page that focuses on getting responses from your appointment reminders. So from the people that book the appointment, you want them to be responding to the emails, the texts, the calls, etc. Right? So we have a page that has a video telling them what to do next. Your call is not confirmed. Please respond. Please accept the invite, etc. Have 3 simple steps beneath it just to make sure if they don't watch the video, they know what to do next. But then also have, again, proof of results, proof of live results in this case for ad accounts for us, but again, more proof. You can't have too much proof. You can never have too much proof, okay? So this page alone increased our show-up rate on our triage calls, our first calls, from 60 to 77%. Ultimately, people have to be reminded on what, when, and how, and why all the time. If there's any break and they get distracted or they forget, you have to be there to remind them every step of the way. Otherwise, you're going to have issues with your show rate, with your lead quality rate, with your conviction and your conversion on your funnel. Okay. And again, this is what we do for our partners, guys. This isn't just me saying like we do it for ourselves and no one else. This is the 9-step system that we use for every single person that we partner with. Okay. So again, once they've booked the appointment, they're also getting AI and automations, text, emails being sent to remind them, to create responses, to send content, to engage with them. Because now they booked the appointment, we've got a bit of time, maybe up to 4 days max in between when they book versus when they're actually going to show up. So for example, if they book on a Friday, we might see them on the Monday. So that's a lot of time. We want to make sure that we're having a consistent conversation throughout those days in between. After the appointment is booked, we obviously run these automations to get confirmation. That's the main thing, is getting them to respond saying, yes, I'm going to show up. Okay, but also push across the assets like our VSL and any other information to boost engagement and the know, like, and trust factor. Okay, so you can see this is a big old workflow of automations that we've built out. Okay, and again, it's through a lot of trial and error. It's through thousands of appointments being booked, and probably at this point, thousands of appointments being no-showed. So it's really, really important and a massive integral part of why our funnel works. Okay, now the next step is the triage call. Okay, the goal of the triage call is to figure out the problems that your prospects have and to see if you can actually help them, okay? Triage calls are 100% vital for cold traffic. If you don't have a triage process, you are not going to win. If you're just trying to one call close every single person that books a call from an ad, good luck. You have to be like the best salesperson ever for this to be successful without a triage call. Okay. The only goal, again, is to see if we can help them. If we can't help them, then we can't help them and we say, sorry, but no thanks, we can't help you. Okay. But if they have a problem that we can solve and they want to be helped, that's what we're going to do. We're going to help them. Okay. It's never to sell. As soon as you're trying to sell somebody, that's when you lose. Okay. So again, the type of questions that we're asking on these triage calls, how can we help? What problems do you have? Where are you now? Where are you going? What are you doing? Why is it not working? What have you tried before? Why not do it yourself? How soon do you need a solution? Who else are you considering? Anything else we should know? Obviously, there's a lot of nuance to each of these questions, but like high level, simple form, this is the type of stuff that we're asking because we need a better picture and understanding of who they are, where they are in the buying journey or the buying cycle, what they've tried, what they haven't, what's working, what isn't, where they're trying to go versus where they are now. So we can really understand how much help they need. I've had it before where people don't need my help and they're asking for it. And I say, hey, you don't need me. You need to do this instead. And that power of actually just trying to help someone is what allows you to be really good at sales. Okay. So again, if people have their cameras off, they're not open to answering questions, they're rude, or they have not, done their research, they're just wasting your time. That is also a disqualified lead. It's not just about do they have money. If anything, it's not about that. It's all about who they are as a person. That's why there's so much nuance to a triage process. Okay. Here's also an example of an end of day report from a sales rep that we have. So on the 7th of August, she booked 8 calls, 7 showed up, 5 booked on to the second call. Like that is what I call like an optimum day where we got a really high show rate and we've also got a really high relative qualification rate of people being booked in to the next call. Okay. Like if every day was like this, it would be absolutely amazing. Of course, we have good days, bad days, everything else, but it's about finding a happy medium where we can actually have a really effective, high show up rate, 60, 70, 80% consistently. And then we have a high qualification rate of 50% plus consistently as well. Okay. Again, you can see the cliff notes of this. We learn about who they are, what they do and how they do it. And then we have clear next steps of what is going to happen now. Okay. So again, we have this whole process dialed in. This is not, this is all scripted. It's mechanically engineered. So we know what questions to ask based on their industry. We know what questions to ask based on their experience, based on their sophistication of the market and understanding of who you are and what you do, right? Every market is different. Every industry is different. But the conversation is all about friction, the same as the survey. We want to identify the people who have a now problem and are in the buying phase. If somebody's just looking for information, sorry, mate, it's the wrong day, right? We're not here to give information. We're here to build partnerships. We're here to help people today. If you want information, I can send you some videos outside of this call. So it's really, really important we understand the nuance of the whole triage process so we're not wasting time. We're not saying yes to the wrong people, okay? So now that you have a triage call process and you're able to actually qualify the right people based on the right factors, we then go into the post-triage VSL, okay? I said something else was the secret sauce earlier, but this is truly a groundbreaking discovery that I made probably 6-7 months ago, is having a VSL or a one-pager is what we call it, of content that I send to people between call 1 and call 2. Ironically, this video may be on that page, okay? But these assets are all about nurturing qualified and interested prospects within your sales process. Honestly, our close rate on demo calls doubled because of this. Because it takes someone from, I don't really know who this person is, but they sound like they have something worth listening to, oh, these guys actually are good. They actually do deliver an amazing service and they do have a solution for my current problem, right? It's about building and nurturing and giving an understanding of exactly who you are and your credibility. Okay, so again, on our page, it has proof of results, proof of service, proof of live results. We have client interviews. I'll even show you the page right now, live page, right? So for example, we have a page right here. It has all of our client results, well, not all of them, right? But some big wins that we have with clients, where they started, where they went, all of this stuff, right? It's really, really beneficial to have that. Obviously, how we're rated excellent on Trustpilot. We also have like a live walkthrough of a client journey. So in the back end, after somebody does invest in working with us, what exactly happens? So we break it down from day one to actually obviously scaling and winning. We also have breakdown of live ad account walkthroughs. We also have client interviews with people like Evan, who went from 6K a month to 94K a month, or James Furman, who closed 1.4 million in 18 months at 20x ROAS, and then a ton more proof as well. Okay, so if you are at that stage, ironically, of being at this between call 1 and call 2, make sure that you actually do watch this stuff because there's a lot of value, not just in results, because I know anyone can share results, but in exactly how the results happen, right? Which I think is super important. Okay, so again, you can imagine the importance of this. Okay, now we obviously want to be sending more reminders and asset links before the second call. So we're not just manually sending this across when they book a call. We have a new workflow of automations of texts, emails, everything else, AI integrated into that workflow to make sure people are actually watching the content, actually responding, actually engaging. And on top of all of this, we're also sending personal messages via WhatsApp and Instagram, depending on the prospect's decision, never in the CRM, because we want to have that connection. We want to increase that engagement. We want to have that personal human touch because we are real people, right? We're not robots. We actually want to make sure that they see that, okay? This obviously boosts show rates. It also boosts show rates for the demo specifically and the close rate subsequently because now they've got a human touch. They've got the information that they didn't have before. Perhaps they didn't watch the whole VSL to get to the first call, but now they're interested. Now they're actually going to do their own research. So we may as well give it to them on a silver platter to make it easier for them to find out everything they need to know. Okay, this stuff is the secret sauce. If you don't have this right now, you should probably get it for sure. But this is coming up to the last step, right? So the most important step of all of it is obviously the last conversation you have with somebody before they become a client. But let's just quickly recap. So in layman's terms, you have the ad, which gets the attention. You have the funnel, which turns that attention into a really interested person that is interested in speaking with you. But then you have the survey that qualifies people before they can speak to you. You have a calendar, which then turns that qualification lead or that qualified lead into an actual qualified appointment. And then you have that post-booking page, which boosts responses, boosts show rate for the first call. You have the AI, you have the automations that again does the same thing. It helps push people along the pipeline. You have a really detailed understanding of who they are and there's certain questions to ask based on your surveys, based on their problems, based on your offer. So you know how to actually turn someone from I'm interested to we can definitely help. We don't want to sell you anything, but we can definitely help you. Okay. Then we have our post-triage VSL nurturing sequence, our one pager that then actually shows people who we are and how we do it. Okay. Again, just bridging that gap between complete stranger to, oh, these guys are legit. They can actually help me. Okay. Now the last step, and arguably the most important for everyone watching this video, is the demo call, the sales call, whatever you want to call it. Now, here's an example of obviously me doing a demo call. All the hard work is done. But now it's about providing a tailored solution to solve their current problems so they can actually achieve their goals, right? If the prospect believes what you say and is willing to make a change, they will buy. If you do not close for whatever reason, it's only because of fear, money, or logistics, nothing else. Those are the three buckets, okay? For example, fear of spending money, even if they have it, right? So they have money, but they're scared to invest. This is because they've probably been burnt in the past, they don't trust you're the right person, they don't believe in themselves, or they don't believe your specific solution will work. Fear can only be solved through new perspectives, not by force. So you can't tell someone to stop being fearful, you can help them see it through a different lens, right? For example, if they've been burnt in the past, well, maybe they had a bad relationship in the past and they had a really bad breakup, but that did not stop them to actually go and find a new partner and now their wife and have a lovely family with, right? It's about them seeing it through a different lens and that being burnt isn't the reason they should attach themselves to not growing, right? They still want to achieve their goals, but because it hurt once to try, they're going to stop altogether. Obviously, knowing that now, it sounds pretty ridiculous, but you can't just say it to them. You have to actually break it down through a different perspective, a different understanding, okay? So that's one part of it. The other part is obviously logistical reasons, right? So it could be they don't have the money and they need to find a way to get it. Loans, credit cards, future payments, etc. Right? The other logistics is they're going on a vacation, they don't have enough time right now, their wallet's in the car, whatever. The truth is, logistics can be handled by offering deposits, payment plans, and financing options most of the time. Okay? So if you can handle logistical objections, you'll probably close 30% of qualified demos. But if you can handle fear objections, you'll probably close 50% of qualified demos. Now, obviously, everything else before this demo call has to happen the right way for this to be possible. If you're just sending people to a calendar and then doing a one-call close, it's going to be way worse. You'll probably close 5%, right? It's going to be horrendous. So this is why there's so much information and detail in this funnel, in this system. It's a very intricate beast, okay? It's not to be taken for granted. Now, when we're on the demo call, we're going to be summarizing the situation that they have based on the first conversation. We're going to redefine their goals and the outcomes that they want to achieve. We want to know what happens if they don't make any changes. We want to know, are they okay with that, right? We want to know, is now actually a good time for them to make a change? We want to make sure we can provide a customized solution with clarity. We want to also clarify to them exactly what that means for them. We want to make sure that they actually believe that we can help them. And then we want to go over the investment if they do believe what we have can help them. If someone doesn't believe it can help, then there's no point in going over price. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter if it's $1 or $1 million. They don't fundamentally believe what you have is good, so it doesn't matter. And that's why price is always the last thing to discuss, never before, okay? Now, Once they agree to price, you can obviously onboard them. Again, we provide all the custom trainings for our partners. We go in, we sit down, and we build it around your niche, your audience, your avatar. Okay, we take nothing for granted. This whole system works when it's customized. It cannot be templated. It just won't work. Okay, it's not a blanket system. It really isn't. It's the opposite. It's the most intricate, customized beast possible to make advertising to complete strangers actually scale. Okay, so again, we are very aware of this. You can see in here, for example, Kelly expresses interest in James's approach and they agreed to move forward, and we took over the service, right? So when you're looking at this, obviously, let's look at Scott, for example. He was able to book 98 calls, have 52 good conversations, and close 10 people. He spent $5K on ads. He made $48,000. He's having a good time, you can imagine. But it's because he has the whole system, right? And now what we're doing with Scott is we're helping close closers and setters into his business, okay? Because he has the proof. He has the system that's working. He's in control. And now he needs to take a step back from part of the sales process, if not all of the sales process, for him to then scale to 100K a month and beyond, okay? All we truly care about in this demo call is having the right people say yes and taking action. Your role is not to sell people who don't value your service. Your role is to help people solve problems so that you can make an impact on their lives, whether it's B2C, B2B, whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay. So now if you take a step back at this, you can see it for what it is. You can see how important the ad is and how it has an effect on everything else in the flow. All of this has to be singing from the same hymn sheet. Okay. It has to be built the right way. It can't be rushed. It can't be made from a guess. It has to be done through research, through raw, real data. Okay. So now you can imagine when people think we just run an ad to a funnel and a calendar page and then get demo calls, that's almost like insulting, right? There's so much more to it. Okay. And that's how we've been able to spend $200,000, right, and book over 4,500 appointments because we know how to turn it into 400 plus nearly 500 clients. Okay. Now you may be watching this and thinking, wow, James, there's a lot more to this than I thought. Now I'm going to hit you something you didn't expect. This all won't work if you don't have a good offer. Okay, I mentioned it in the ad, but let me tell you just quickly about the offer and why it's so important. Okay, now you can see here, there's two different offers, one without a guarantee, one with a guarantee. You don't need a guarantee, right? It's a very big and common misconception in the space that you need a guarantee for it to work. You don't. You really don't. Okay, but it doesn't take away from the fact that 80% of the work is the offer itself. Okay, same style landing page, same colors, not same colors, but same style, same brand, just different avatar, different offer. Okay, every offer is based on your avatar. It's based on your unique service. It's based on your unique market sophistication, right? There's some saturated, some unsaturated. It all has an impact. It's all based on your audience's desired outcomes, right? It's a lot of nuance as well. And that's why whenever we partner with somebody, again, I did a check in the last year. I've done 237 of these where I've sat down for an hour and we break down that specific offer for that specific audience and that specific service for that specific business. I will never delegate that to my team because a lot of it, if not all of it, is up here. Yes, there's frameworks. Yes, there's a process, but it's intuition. It's so much trial and error. Again, from 5+ years ago, right, of running ads for an e-commerce agency, looking at that. That's what I used to look like, by the way. That's crazy, right? In a little bedroom, in a little box room with a whiteboard behind me. This is my light bulb moment, right? This is what started the whole thing off, right? Okay, so you can really see what's happened in the last 5 years. Now, again, it's 10+ years of overall marketing experience. I started marketing at the beginning of 2016, and it was always running ads, by the way. So this is what I do all the time, is build offers, strategize about how to make the bigger picture work. Because you can have the 9 steps, right? You can fundamentally have the 9 steps, but if they're not tied to the right offer and the right pricing structure and the right everything, it won't work, right? And again, over our client base, we've collected tens of millions of dollars across 50+ industries. This is all I do. Okay, you can probably tell by the level of detail that I've gone in, that in order for it all to work, you don't just need a good offer. It's not just about the shiny headline on the ad. It's about connecting the whole process together so you can put $1 into your ads and then get $5, $6, $7 out at the end. Okay, and you can probably imagine there's even more to it. But I'm just trying to make it as simple as humanly possible so you understand what is required. Whether you hire me, wherever you work with someone else, whether you do it yourself, there's so much beneath the surface that you probably haven't even considered. Okay, because this is just the tip of the iceberg, right? It really is. This is still 10% of it. But most people think it's just about an ad, a funnel, a calendar, and a demo call, which is actually nothing to do with it. There's so much more. So I hope now that you've seen this 9-step system, so you can see it all from end to end, from a different perspective, from someone that's been doing this a long, long time, whether you're already speaking to us about helping you, or whether you're interested in speaking to us about helping you, hopefully this will give you a really good understanding when we do speak again on what it is we do. And again, we build this, but then we're also scaling it as well, which is a whole nother thing. So anyway, I hope this has helped. I hope it's opened up your mind to what it is we're about. And if you have any questions, obviously let us know. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.